Good morning, student. Today we are going to see absorption spectra of hexaecho titanium 3 plus. In hexaecho titanium 3 plus, titanium is basically present in 3 plus oxidation state. The electronic configuration of titanium can be written as argon 3d2 4s2. So titanium 3 plus can be written as argon 3d1. So from this we know that there is only one electron present in your d orbital. This is the CFSE diagram of your hexaecho titanium 3 plus. It is basically a octahedral complex because it have 6 number of ligand. This is your d orbital of isolated titanium 3 plus. When ligands approaches to titanium, energy of this d orbital are increases, but they are in a degenerated state. When ligands are further approaches to your central metal atom, that is titanium 3 plus, the set of this 5d orbital are basically split up into two set. One is one set, that is Eg sets. Lower energy set is known as T2g set. Obviously this electron goes to lower energy state first, that is into T2g state. When this complex is exposed to light, it absorbs the light, and this electron is basically get excited and goes into Eg set of orbital. Hexaecho titanium 3 plus complex is basically a purple color complex. The maxima observed in this graph, it is near about 500 nanometer. If we see this graph closely, we see that in this graph, in this spectrum, there is a broadband obtained, not a single line. The nature of band is broadband. Second important thing is that this band is unsymmetrical in nature. First of all, we see what happens when your titanium hexaecho titanium 3 plus complex is exposed to light. When this complex is exposed to light, it absorbs the radiation and this electron goes into your T2g set. This type of transition is basically known as ligand field transition, or it is also known as DD transition. But according to it can be seen that the intensity of this band is very low, and molar absorptivity value, that is epsilon, is near about 5. In some other cases, in other system, this value is much higher, that is 10 raised to the power 4. Now we are going to discuss why this value is very low. Because the reason this transition, that is T2g, from T2g to Eg, in octahedral complex, it is forbidden by Laporte rule. Why it is forbidden by Laporte rule? Because both your T2g and Eg set of orbital have center of symmetry, and we know that according to Laporte rule, Gerard to Gerard and un-Gerard to un-Gerard orbital transitions are forbidden. Because of this transition is basically forbidden by Laporte rule. But but in actuality we see that there is absorption takes place. Epsilon value is near about 5. So according to Laporte rule, there is a no intensity, there is zero intensity, but in actuality small intensity indicates that the orbital are not perfectly centrosymmetric. This may be due to the partial mixing of orbital of metal and ligand. If such a mixing takes place, then the first postulate of your CFT, that bond between metal and ligands is purely electrostatic, does not hold good there, and this is the one of the limitation of your CFT. Now we are going to see width of the band. Now from the spectrum, it can be noticed that a wide band is obtained, that is a broad band, a wide band is obtained instead of sharp single line. This is due to the fact that each electronic transition, it is important, each electronic excitation is accompanied by number of vibrational excitation and de-excitation. Due to the vibrational changes of a broad band is observed instead of a sharp single line, because your electronic excitation is further associated with your vibrational excitation and de-excitation. Because of that, we don't got a single line, but we got a broad spectrum. Now symmetry of band. we know that, we see that in this diagram this band is not symmetric in nature, it is unsymmetric. Why it is so? Even if the vibrational changes accompanied electronic transition, it is expected that the peak should be symmetric about your electronic transition. But in case of Hexa-Echo Titanium 3 plus, the peak is not symmetric because it is the combination of basically a two peak, and the observed spectrum is a resultant of the two. These are the observed peak. The peak which is shown here, it looks like it is a single peak, but it is the basically there are two peaks, and that two peaks are overlap each other. How it is happened, we are going to see here. This nature of band can be explained on the basis of Jahn-Taylor effect. According to in ground state, the electronic configuration is T2G 1 EG0. In this case, in ground state, your T2G orbital are unsymmetrical filled, and in excited state it is T2G and EG1. And in excited state, your EG orbital are unsymmetrical field. And the condition of Jahn-Taylor effect we already discussed. When orbitals are unsymmetrical field, there is if T2G orbital are unsymmetrical field, then there is a slight distortion, and when it is EG orbital are unsymmetrical field, there is a strong distortion in the geometry. In ground state, T2 set is unsymmetrical field, and in excited state, EG set is also unsymmetrical field. This basically leads to the Jahn-Taylor distortion. The two sets of orbital further, because of Jahn-Taylor distortion, this orbital, that is EG set of orbital and T2G set of orbital, are further split up like this. You are in this case, dz square orbital get higher in energy, and your dx square minus y square orbital got lower in energy. While in T2G set, basically your dxz dyz orbital are get higher energy as compared to your dxy orbital. Because of that, when electrons put in your T2G orbital, it basically goes into your dxy orbital. Now when this electron absorb light, there are two possibilities. Either it go in your dx square minus y square orbital, or it can go in your dz square orbital. Therefore there are possibility of two transition, and these two band basically overlap, and resultant band is observed in a broadband region which is unsymmetrical in nature. Now we are going to see the absorption spectra of your Hexa-Echo copper 2 plus complex. The atomic number of copper is 29. Electronic configuration of copper can be written as Ar3d9-4s1. In this complex, your copper is basically present in 2 plus state, so electronic configuration can be written as Ar3d9. Basically in this complex, your copper contain 9d electron. So Hexa-Echo copper 2 is octahedral complex because it contains 6 ligand with copper having D9 configuration. In presence of crystal field, obviously your electronic configuration can be written as T2G6 Eg3. It is 6, not 0. Will be written as T2G6 Eg3. Now this configuration is similar to D1 configuration. Now student must make note that the next statement, in the sense that there is a one hole in EG orbital while other orbital are filled. This D9 configuration is equivalent to your D1 configuration. Basically considering this D1 configuration is basically considered for your hole formation principle, for hole formalism principle. Now how this principle is work, we are going to see. According to hole formalism, it is one hole system and shows similar absorption spectra as that of your D1 system. Now your this Hexa-Echo copper 2 plus complex basically shows spectrum like your Hexa-Echo titanium, basically just like this Hexa-Echo titanium 3 plus, because it is a D1 system. if an electron excites from T2G to EG, it may be considered as excitation of hole. This word is very much important. It is considered as excitation of hole from EG to T2G. Thus, it is expected that absorption spectra show a single line. However, a broad band is formed by the combination of three overlapping bands is observed. The absorption maxima is near about 12,000 centimeter inverse, that is 833 nanometer in aqueous solution, and color is blue. The complex color is in aqueous solution, it is a blue. Formation of three bands can be explained on the basis of Jahn-Teller effect. The EG orbital are unsymmetrical field, and so the extent of distortion is large. Thus, the three electronic transition are possible. Just see here. Basically, you are a T2G orbital and EG orbital. This is the diagram for electronic excitation, not the hole excitation. So, first diagram is of your electronic excitation. In presence of ligand, your EG set of orbital further split up into dx square minus y square and dz square. In this case, your dx square minus y square orbital comes higher in energy as compared to your dz square orbital, while your T2G set is further split up into dxy orbital and dxz and dyz orbital. In this case, your dxy orbital got slightly higher energy as compared to your dxz and yz orbital. Obviously, the electron which are present in your T2G set, that is dxz and dyz as well as dxy and dz square, because the electronic configuration of copper is T2G6 and EG3. So there are electron present in your 6 electron present basically in your T2G set, and 3 electron is basically present in your EG set also. So what going to be happen? There is a possibility that the electrons which are present in your dxz and yz orbital can goes to the dx square minus y square orbital. This is the first possibility. Another possibility is that there is the electron which are present in your dxy orbital can goes to dx square minus y square orbital. This is the second possibility. This is your first possibility. This is second. There is also a third possibility, that is electron which are present in your dz square orbital can also go to the dx square minus y square orbital. Because of that, there are three excitation, and these are three extra excitation basically overlap, and the resultant spectrum which is seen or which is observed, it is the band is basically composition of these three excitation. Now, how the whole excitation can be right? So, according to whole formalism principle, we have to draw this diagram inversely. In this case, your EG set of orbital, when we draw whole excitation, we have to basically draw EG set of orbital are basically lower in energy, while T2G set of orbital are in higher in energy. It is not the excitation of electron. Student should note that it is the excitation of hole, that is a vacant place. Now, in this case, the lower energy orbital is dx square minus y square, and slightly higher energy orbital is dz square. While in T2G set, this orbital are further split up, and your dxy orbital are lower in energy, while dxz and dyz orbital are higher in energy. In this case, basically a hole is excited from to your dx square minus y square orbital to dz square orbital. There, this is the first possibility. There is another possibility, the hole which are present in your dx square minus y square orbital can goes into your dxy orbital. This is your second possibility of transition. And third possibility of transition, that is the hole which are present in your dx square minus y square orbital is basically goes to your dxz and yz orbital. Now, what is the meaning of hole? So hole means simply the vacant place. Vacant place means, just see here, this is your 9 electron, when this orbital is basically split up into your EG and T2G set, so basically 6 electron comes here in your T2G hole, and now this orbital have unpaired electron, one electron, it is not paired electron. That's why we can write X here. So this X simply means that hole. Okay, this X simply means that hole, because this electron needs one electron. Due to the absence of one electron, there is a formation of one hole there. In next class we are going to see high spin and low spin octahedral complexes. Thank you very much.